G'day kids and mums and dads. Welcome back to lesson 2 in our Creative Kids online workshop. Aaron here again in the workshop. And in this lesson we're going to talk about our kits. What are they made from? How are they made? Why did we choose them? And then we're going to start building, which is pretty awesome. So we're going to build 2 wooden kits in this lesson, and we're going to talk through the process of how to take them out of the timber, putting them together, taking your time, and then follow the instructions to get the right result. So pretty excited, and let's start. So our Charlie Boots creative craft kits are made from what's called a birch plywood. Now that's a really light but strong plywood, and it has a really nice light color to it, which is perfect for this kind of project for you guys. It means that when you paint it, you're not going to have any dark colors coming through. It'll just be the color that you're looking for. Now the way that they make these is through laser cutting, and you can see here, this is the Charlie Boots Biplane model, and what you can see is all these lines, and this is actually the cut lines from a laser. Now we're not talking about Darth Vader here and lightsabers and that kind of thing. We're actually talking about construction lasers, and the reason we use lasers to cut out the pieces for each model is because it can be done with a high level of precision, which means basically if you draw the line, it follows the line. And the laser itself has a very thin cross section, so it's only taking a very small piece of the timber out. It also leaves a nice dark edge around each side of the piece where it scorches it as it cuts it. So we chose a select group of kits from all of those available around the world because, first of all, they're cut with a laser. I mean, that's pretty awesome. They're also very unique and they're easy to put together. Like I said in the first video, we don't need any special tools, we don't need any glue, we don't need any sharp knives. It's just pop them out from the piece of plywood and then put it together following the instructions. So what do we need to do before we start building, start getting creative? We need to clear our workspace. So I don't really need these beautiful textures, so I'll put them to one side for now. And I've got these other amazing models, which I do love, and I think they're pretty cool, but I don't want to accidentally knock them over. So I'm going to put them on my other bench, and same goes with my mechanical box. That can go aside for now. But I do love just opening that from time to time. It's pretty awesome how that works. So the first of the 2 models we're going to build is the Biplane. I really like this model. I'm a big fan of flying, so it's no surprise probably to my family that I chose this one first. But I know a lot of you guys out there and kids out there probably love flying and love planes too. I also chose it because it doubles as a pen holder, which I think is pretty cool. So let's get stuck into it. And the first thing we need to do is start popping out all our pieces. So you can see here the instructions for the biplane, pretty straightforward for you kids. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 steps. And the 7th step being painting, which is pretty awesome. So what we want to do is we want to take out all our pieces and get ourselves ready to assemble. Okay, so with popping the pieces out, it's pretty simple kids, but you do just want to take your time. Remember that in the first lesson, take your time, don't rush. There's no need to go really fast. So what we can do is we start with our big pieces and we just gently push around the side and they pop out, no problem. Take your time, there's no need to rush this part at all. And if you need to, you can also flip it over and push from the other side too. I find that works really well. And out it comes. And then you can see here, you can see there's some lighter sections here. That's where the laser cuts along this edge and then it stops and it leaves the piece connected to the timber, and then it keeps on going all the way around. So that's our first piece we've popped out. On to the next piece. Now we've got our struts. Now the struts connect the 2 wings together. I found that if I get a pencil and push in some parts, it makes it easier than using my thumb. I've obviously got bigger thumbs than you guys. You probably have a lot smaller thumbs than me, it might make it a bit easier for you, but I find if I just push gently with the pencil, it really helps to pop out these pieces. And ta-da! All done. Surely didn't take too long. So, our rubbish goes in the bin. Alright, so you guys can follow along at home. I'm standing up. I've got a light here next to me. Put a bit more light in front of our camera. And next thing I'm going to do, and I want you guys to do as well, so with everything I'm doing, I want you to do exactly the same, is we're going to lay out all our pieces so we know where everything is. We're all laid out. Let's start building. So, step one, take the bottom piece. And you can see here it's telling you to make sure you put them in the right position. So let's make sure we do. So you got the wider section here, goes into the wider section at the back. Generally with these kits, there's only one way for things to go. And then on to the next one, same thing again, because the one section is wider, one section is not so wide. So we line them up with the wide piece, a wide hole in the bottom wing, and in it goes. Take your time. Don't push in one all the way in then the other, because it won't work very well. You want to push them both down evenly at the same time. Okay, that's that done. Step two, slide the wing into the underside of the fuselage. So, like so, in it goes, and that slides up. And clicks in there. Pretty simple. So you can see there we've already only done steps 1 and 2, and we're well underway to finishing. Because the creative part is really about doing the painting, isn't it? That's what we're really excited about doing. So, top wing, and it sits on these sections here on the strut, and on it goes. One side, and then the other side. Try and make it so there's no wobbles in the plane. So looking down the line here, making sure that nothing's bent or crooked. So that was step 3. Step 4, the landing gear. How is a plane going to land if it doesn't have any wheels, huh? So on it goes, like so. And then if you see here, there's 2 bigger rings and then a smaller ring. And the smaller ring is the wheel for the tail, which is called the tail wheel. And the 2 main wheels, so the 2 bigger wheels are the main landing gear. Those who are interested, this is what's called a tail dragger. No, it doesn't have a tail like a crocodile, but it does have a tail at the back. And if the wheels are at the front and the tail drags along the grass, which is how that used to be, they would call it a tail dragger. So we're putting our landing gear on. So you can see that that rotates around this end piece of timber. And then the square matches the square and locks it all together. Once again, no glue, no screws required. Nice and simple. Step 5 is our propeller. Planes that have a propeller at the front are called tractor planes. Planes with propellers at the back are called pushers. Bit of a fun fact for you guys. I told you I love planes. So, step 6. Alright, so step 6, the last piece of the construction, is to install the tail plane in the back of the plane, like so, sliding it straight in. In it goes, making sure once again that it's nice and straight, we haven't got any twists to it. And then we have our tail gear assembly. So we have this piece here, clicks onto the fuselage, like so. On goes the wheel, and then on goes our little retaining nut piece of timber. There we go, we've done it. All right, so there it is, kids. The plane is complete. It's time for the next model.